Hi, very good afternoon to you. It's Jim from maverickstar. I wanted to just give you a few ideas in this video, hopefully, for those that haven't, made any preparations yet. Again, reiterating some of the things that we face might make some changes. So don't just, don't adjust your screen. It's meant to be blank. I just want your full undivided attention, just for a few minutes, and I'll try and keep it brief. Before we do, huge thanks to those few that have supported us yesterday. And yet again, Jim, you've come forward for the observatory almost single-handedly, and your help keeps this observatory going. And on that note, it's just ridiculous what some people say about this observatory, that it's not an observatory. Well, the only thing I can say is, where do you think 400,000 individual readings come from every month? If we never had the Trimax system, we wouldn't have those readings. And here's another thing as well. When you say this is the maverickstar observatory to some people, they think that this is somewhere on the top of the Himalayan mountains. I'll just tell you this straight. People need to get real. The observatory is my home. I've had to convert my home into an observatory, select certain areas which are, magnetically free from RF signals and all that, just so that we can keep producing the data that we do without, contaminating it. And how would people like Kendall in Canada get his data that he sends us every other week? How would people like Scott in Arizona get his data that he sends us every week? Get real. The reason why we're not on the top of the Himalayas is because we don't have a government grant for £100 million. The reason why we're in central England is because, and the observatory is set up in my home, is because the costs are being kept down. If someone wants to donate £100 million, trust me, I'll build us a nice observatory on top of one of the Himalayan mountains, and it'll look like an observatory. People just need to get real. So, big thanks to, guys like Jim, who yet again come forward for us. There's every day we do a video, there's over 2,000, and these are the people that on look and walk by, and that is going to be the subject for this video. I'm not picking on these people because they don't support, it's just the mentality is all wrong. Because these are the people that buy houses on floodplains that historically haven't flooded for a long while. These are the people that buy homes in California, and for more than one reason. It's not an ideal location. First of all, there is going to be one day a repeat of I could go back into the dates and sort them out for you, but there's going to be a repeat of the earthquake. And people that live there know, can you believe this? They know that there's a chance of California breaking off and going into the ocean. These people live in California whilst knowing that they live in forest regions that regularly catch fire and houses burn down, and yet they continue to live there. That's the mentality of the people that we're talking about. These people that live in California and places like South Mexico, that allow corporations to sink boreholes down to over 200 meters and suck up all the water so that there's not even a drop left for you to put on your lawns. These are the people that live in California that have got the opportunity to relocate and that are choosing not to. This was a huge mistake that our ancestors have made time and time again. If you just take a few minutes of your time to research what happened to the Mayan civilization, you'd understand that they no longer had seasonal rains that replenished those cisterns that was underground that they had built. At the end of the civilization, they was desperately trying to save every last drop of water, just like what we see now in Mexico City. Mexico City, I don't know if you're aware of, is sinking. And it's sinking because of the overwaterification. It's sinking because there has been too much water drained out from deep in the water strata. And when you remove any substance, things will have a knock-on effect, and the knock-on effect is Mexico City is literally sinking. The bridges are breaking, the houses are subsiding. Go and have a look. And on top of this, on top of this as well, we've got people now that are accepting that water no longer comes out of taps. Somebody in the comments section yesterday said, Gene, you're overplaying the water shifting around the world. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. We do live in a biosphere. The water generally, on good conditions, is trapped within the atmosphere. And that water is able to shift, and its method of moving around our planet is via the jet streams. And we know the jet streams are breaking down. We know that we have polar and subtropical jet streams mixing with each other, delivering now these once in a 1,000-year floods, once in a 1,000-year droughts. The water on our planet is shifting, and that is just one of the things that we face. But the mentality of these people remain and persistently stay in these regions. And for those, they've got more hardships coming. I've said it many times, trying to warn people that unless you get off the track, you're going to get hit by the train that's coming. We can all see that train coming. There's no mystery here. I've pointed out the jet stream behaviour. We even have subtropical over the equatorial region now mixing, which means your northern and southern hemispheres weather patterns are mixing, things that aren't being recorded on your mainstream media. And I tell you, the water shifting around our world is a real serious issue, and they do not want to mention that. But it's a serious issue. If we go back again into the history and have a look at what brought the end of the Egyptian Empire, what we will see is a failure of expected seasonal rains to flood the Nile so that that flood water would replenish and moisturise all that land either side of the Nile. It was a rich and fertile part of the world which ran dry when the seasonal rains stopped. If we look at Afghanistan and the rainfalls that they're getting, even though it's monsoon, it doesn't mean that 20 inches of rain won't fall in a 24-hour period. Something that should happen over a period of 5-6 years happens in just 24 hours. This is what I want to get through people's heads, and I've said it time and time again. The mere fact that you haven't been caught up in any of these things, or you may have, but the mere fact that you may not have yet is just sheer luck. If you're in the casino and you're putting in coins in that slot machine and pulling that arm down, it is only a matter of time before you feed the machine enough that it comes up jackpot. And every day for you that haven't had an incident that has occurred through the climate change on our earth is like you pulling that arm down one more time. Because if you'd pulled it down 200 times already, and you very likely have over the last 200 days and nothing's happened, the thoughts must be in the back of your mind. When is it going to come up jackpot? When that jackpot comes up, you might wake up to some of these scenes which I'm about to show you right now. And these are real, and they are affecting millions and millions of people around our planet, and these issues are becoming more extreme as time goes on. We're facing serious problems, and I am imploring you to do something. Do not just stand on that track, because you will wake up one morning and not only will you have lost everything you've worked for in your life, like we've already witnessed only this year alone, forget all the other years, you will have lost everything, and hopefully not your loved ones along with it. But we live in a time where there's real possibility, and people need to start engaging seriously in getting off that track, because the train is coming. I'm not trying to frighten anybody. I'm trying to wake you up so that you understand the situation which we face. It is very severe. It's DEFCON 5 or DEFCON 1. I don't know how they work it. Is it the higher the DEFCON, the more serious it is? I don't know. DEFCON 1, shall we say? It's DEFCON 1. You know, danger is imminent. Let me show you what some of the people are facing around our world right now. This is Pakistan in the last 24 hours, reported by Sky News. As you can see down there, the 27th of August, this was yesterday. This is what Pakistan looks like. This has affected hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. It's not just the rainwaters that damage properties, it's also the crop failures that will happen, and famine will follow after that. You know, this is Pakistan. If you think it's not going to happen in the UK or Germany and other places like that, and in Europe and America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, it will. And it already has. This is just, you know, one quick search for floods in 2022 and already we come up with one in less than 17 hours. This is real life. This is ABC reporting on the Dallas floods. As you can see, 1 in 1,000 year rain triggers rescues. So it's not just these eastern countries that are unfortunate to be in these situations, you know, even us in the West. Do you see the train coming? Is it real enough for you? These people are just like those that we was talking about earlier, you know, that think it will never happen and they wake up the next morning to this. This was a couple of months ago in South China. By the way, you know, the first flood I showed you in Pakistan that happened in the last 17 hours has only affected 33 million people, which ain't a lot really, is it? That's a bit of sarcasm, but are you getting the picture? China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the United States, Europe. You know, China on one half of its territory is in a severe drought, the other half is in severe flood. Both of those affect, guess what? Crop production. We've got a global famine coming beyond unprecedented scales, guys. Are you seeing the train? This was a couple of months in Paris, just to give you an indication that this is happening all over the world. And just because you've seen water run down a flight of stairs in trains and going through the streets, imagine the crop failure that is taking place and what the world is gearing up for. That's what's coming. So I think you get the picture, hopefully, of what's going on in the world and how close we all are to being affected. The information that we provide here at the maverickstar Observatory could save any one of you tens of thousands of pounds if you apply it correctly. You know, most of you know that you sit in danger and do nothing about it until the last minute, because what is at the back of your thoughts is, this will never happen to me. I want you to change that thought and mindset and think about when you switch the lights off tonight and go to sleep. Ask yourself the question, what have you done in any form of preparation to provide for your family in such events? Have you put up some food? Have you put up a little bit of cash? Have you made sure your property is correctly and fully insured? Have you chose the right location for your family to live in? You know, just think before you close your eyes tonight about some of these questions. Have you got your families back and your loved ones secure in case any of these things happen? Because like those 2,000 people that avoid, you know, any sort of help with regards to running of this observatory, I bet you most of those haven't even got a backup plan for their loved ones. Those are the people we're trying to reach out to, because it is just one more pull away, one more coin in the slot machine away from coming to your door. And I pray it doesn't come like a thief in the night. Guys, there's a link down there if you want to help support what we do at this observatory. It is a real observatory. Anyone that thought any otherwise is obviously delusional and crazy. And of course, you know, those people were never meant to hear any warnings at all, because we all know what times we live in. Take care of your loved ones, as always. Bye for now.